Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling? So I'm here to talk about Tamar, child, because Tamar has revealed to us that she was the last to know about Traci, being sick.
I got there when I found out. So that's late in the game. So I didn't show up because I didn't want to show up. I didn't find out until I found out by mistake. No one sat me down and told me anything.
She said that it was I believe the last 2 weeks of Traci being sick when she found out that Traci was sick.
He said that she had about 2 weeks. Y'all remember that? Oh, yeah.
And she did not have as much time as the rest of the sisters to really bond with her sister. And Traci made everybody promise not to tell her or Tony. However, they're saying, oh, Tony knew somehow. But she feels as though she takes it personal, saying, hey, at the end of the day, I love my sister. That is still my sister. I believe and I feel as though I deserve to know.
It's something that I still struggle with because I don't understand why I was the last to know. I still feel like it was a bit unfair for me because I lost time with my sister. And I feel like anybody would feel that way. I couldn't tell you because Traci asked me not to. Traci said, I will tell her. And what could I do? Just me? Not you. Tony too. No, Tony knew. No, not at that time.
I don't know if you guys remember, but when Tamar found out, she blasted it to the world. She had this, and I'm not saying that, she should not feel or mourn or whatever, but she blasted it on social media. She was like, our stupid fight or our stupid argument. It was a whole little, I'm going to show you guys on the screen. But it was a whole long little breakdown to where everybody's like, what the hell? Why is she was extreme on social media, just bleeding online. And everybody got wind of it. Like, oh, Traci sick. Oh, Traci sick. I think that was when it was really revealed to us that Traci was sick. Now, I think that's why Traci never told Tamar from the beginning, because Tamar is very, she has these big outbursts, very in the moment, and she does things and don't really think about it. She's very, I know there's a word for it, but she's very just does things real quick without, there's a word for it, I promise you guys, but she's that type of person though. So at this point, Traci wanted to transition smoothly. She didn't want too much attention being placed on her. It was already something that she felt so bad about, something she hated that she had to go through, something her son had to go through, her husband, her her family. She was not ready for her fans to go through it as well. She wanted to protect everybody so they don't feel, because every time somebody hear about cancer or hear about what she experienced, there was an immense high level of pain, you know what I'm saying? So she didn't want that. She didn't want somebody to just throw it out in the media like that. It'd be a big deal like that. She had not figured out how she was going to tell the world yet. And Tamar was the first one to blast it to the world as soon as she found out. And I think that was what Traci was afraid of. She did not want it to be made public in that way, or made public, period, at that moment. I don't think she had a plan for it to be public, but she knew that at some point it was going to come out. But she knew that she didn't want Tamar to be the one, because Tamar spills everybody business. Tamar was telling on the sisters, each of them having cheating husbands. Tamar, every time she hears something or is in the know of something, she's on social media. She done dragged her family on social media multiple times. Tamar don't think. Tamar is the reason why the Braxton family values even exist. She was the one, let's do a TV show, let's do this, let's do that, Tamar is very, fame hungry, very, and it's so unfortunate, she wanted to, because for a very long time Tony was very private about her family life, very private, did not even want too much people in their business. She just wanted to do her music, her sisters be known for their music, to come on too, because she didn't want to feel like she was the only one making it. She wanted to give her sisters something as well, but she was very extremely private in how she handled her business and how she handled things with being publicized or in the media. She was very private, but Tamar just wanted, if somebody knew about her, and I think at first it was, if somebody knew about my talent or knew about me, they would love it. It's done wonders for Keisha Coles. It's done wonders for these different big time singers, to where, the reality of their life, draws people to their music or relate to their music and connect. So she felt like, I need to be in the media. And I think that she, used the Braxton family values and in order to do that, because I don't think that it would have been done had not Tamar thought of it. So Tamar's very in the media, always and it's so unfortunate. We see how her and her man, the Caucasian gentleman that she's in a relationship consistently on and off with, we see how much she runs to the media and tells their business. When the whole situation happened between her and Vince, when he was allegedly abusing her, she blasted that to social media as well. She's I'm a blasted to social media. And at that time, I believe, in my opinion, that Traci did not want that. Traci didn't want it all publicized like that. She wanted a private, transition privately. Tamar's always in the media. So I believe that was what it was. And another reason I think is that she didn't get along with Tamar at the beginning. So at first she didn't want to go back and forth. She already had she didn't know how her sister was going to handle it. She knew she loved her sister, but it could be great, or it could be like Tamar is very dramatic. It takes a lot to deal with her. So I don't think that her intentions was bad, but she just didn't know how to handle Tamar, because Tamar over the years have been extremely mean. Mean. Oh my God, to Traci. So mean. She was saying how she's an auto-tune singer, saying all of these different things. She was very nasty and catty to her sister.
I even separated myself. And I heard some things came out of family mouth that should never come out of a family member's mouth. So I just went right back and I sat down because I did not want to make a scene with your wedding. It was important to me. My baby sister thought she had so much balls to put her chair in front of me, playing with my hair. What you hear? What'd I do? I said, stop touching me. She did it again, and I grabbed the chair. That's when everybody came back. Where was this?
So her sister did not know, hey, am I going to get the sweet, caring Tamar? And I think she believed that she should have, and she would have, but she just did not know. Because over the years, it seemed as though that when it came down to Tamar hated Traci. That's how it seemed, It was seemingly that we believed that they loved each other because they were sisters, but they did not like each other, And a lot of the times where Traci tried to tell Tamar, chill, Tamar, no, Tamar took it extremely, and one thing I don't like is the passive aggression, is the cackling that Tamar does, the cackling, or the extra, the passive stuff that she does. It's just weird energy. I don't know why she is that way, but it just doesn't give the right message. And then what's crazy is she tried to towards the end we had a very grown-up relationship. Well, you mean the 2 weeks before she transitioned?
I got to know a different side of Traci than how our relationship was on television. It was very adult. It was very sister-like. And the closer that we got, did I realize how much of this relationship that I would miss.
We had a grown-up. Why couldn't you have had a grown-up relationship from then on? You and all your sisters. You've been into it with every one of your sisters. Every one of them. And it's crazy because a lot of the girls in the media can't take her. She was doing the Real, and that didn't work out because she doesn't work well with women, humbly. And I love Tamar. I'm a big Tamartian. Everybody knows I love her music. But Tamar is not a nice girl. She's not a girl's girl. And just because you have sisters does not make you a girl's girl. She's not a girl's girl. She's not supportive of other women. She's not nice to other women. She's a nice person, but she's not nice specifically to other women. And especially when she's not getting her way, or especially when there's a situation to where somebody else might be getting attention or shine. She's very, catty with women. And I think that it was no difference with her and her sisters, no difference with her and Traci. She tried to rewrite history towards the end we just had a grown-up situation, grown-up friendship. That was my sister. We understand it was your sister. We understand you loved her. But was you nasty to her? Yes.
Honestly, God, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You got a cheater. You got a computer whiz who likes to cheat on the internet. You got somebody who never can't hold down a job. And you got somebody who just want to live off of you. I'm just trying to tell y'all, this kind of dude here is totally different.
And I think a lot of that played into how Traci felt comfortable with Tamar, wanted to communicate with Tamar, wanted to speak to Tamar, wanted to have a connection with Tamar, because Tamar was very mean to her sister. And it was unfair. I don't know why she was so nasty and so mean. And, Mrs. Evelyn Braxton allowed it because she had some sort of hidden, I don't know if it was a conscious hidden or unconscious, but she had some sort of feeling because Traci was very close to her father.
Wanda and Tamar said, it's Traci, it's all Traci. I felt like I was a little kid again, like I gotta defend for myself. But I was so mad. I'm somebody too. Yes. When my mom came in the back to Wanda and Tamar kept saying, it's Traci, it's all Traci. And my mom was upset with me. And I'm like, why you already automatically be upset with me and not just try to figure out what really happened. I just think my mom just have a different relationship with my sisters than me.
And she felt that man cheated on her with somebody at their church or whatever happened with that situation. So she felt some type of way about Traci having that connection with her father.
Traci and I have always talked.
And she, even though she did not want to display that, she held it against, because every time Traci got into it with somebody, or Traci had a disagreement with somebody, nobody heard Traci out. Nobody tried to hear her side of the story. They just believed one side over the other and made her feel ostracized and made her feel unimportant. Early on, they were calling her the wannabe. Early on, the sisters did not treat her the best over the years. And then they try to rewrite history once Traci passed, each and every one of them. Like, we didn't know that every one of them, except for Trina. Trina was polite. Trina apologized. The only sister that apologized for leaving Traci behind. The only sister, Trina specifically. You know, she had a great relationship with Traci towards the end, because she's always, I'm sorry about that, Traci. Like, acknowledge her feelings, acknowledge how she felt, was the closest to Traci, in my opinion. And it's the reason why I don't feel no ways when I see her next to Lil Kevin, because I know, in my opinion, Traci was, Trina was the only one close to Traci towards her end.
I was not going to sit there and listen to yet another person defend Tamar.
But you and I have a relationship. You and I have a special, I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand Traci the way I understand Traci. When Traci talks about something, she's absolutely right about what she's saying. It's just her delivery that's sometimes wrong.
But what I'm saying is that she was upset for a second. You remember that? We're sisters. We're sometimes at odds and sometimes we're not.
The only one Trina was apologized, was always nice to Traci, and tried her hardest to stick her little head out and help Traci out as her sister. But the rest of them, as Tawanda, as in Tamar, I don't think it was the best, especially that damn Tamar. Tamar was the worst to Traci. And a lot of her sisters, hell, that's, I'm saying, quiet as kept. I did a whole little video breaking down Tawanda's situation with Tamar, but she was a nasty girl, just a very nasty girl. So it wasn't a surprise to me that Traci didn't want to tell her. Hell, it would have been a surprise if Traci did, with the way you treated her. She treated her the worst. We're not going to sit over here and act like, oh, it came as a surprise. Yes, that was your sister, and I'm sure it hurt you so much, immensely. But maybe that should be the wake-up call, that you have to treat people in your family polite. You have to be kind. Be very slow to rush into somebody's relationship issues or somebody else. Treat people the way you would like to be treated. Maybe that should be the wake-up call. Maybe I need to be very humble how I handle my sisters, how I treat my sisters, each and every one of my sisters. You owe every one of them specifically apologies. Not that Iyanla apology where she was Traci, that fake crying that she did. You have to be very sincere and move differently, because that's what an apology is. When you move differently in the future, you really sorry for what you did. But if we gonna keep it a buck and keep it 1,000, Tamar was nasty. And that's why Traci did not allow the connection or whatever. And Tamar, she knew Tamar was dramatic. She didn't want her business in the media to what Tamar ended up doing at the end, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion, guys. I love you guys so much. And bye-bye.